Good morning, good morning. I am now going to begin my meditative session. It is now 5:53 a.m. in the morning. This is always a pleasure to see the beautiful, beautiful light. Yeah, my little lady just walked over and staring at me. Hello, baby girl. Hello. Everything's okay, baby. You can sit down. Take a seat. Yeah. That's Lily, my sweetie. I have my light on, my incense. I perfumed the air. What a beautiful moment. Yeah, to look into the light is a wonderful thing. Sit down, baby. Good girl, Lily. It always provides peace. It always provides peace. I was just reading the book by Eben Alexander. He made point of something that I wish to share, what I'm learning so far. He made mention of the medical field, and that they are the key word here is gatekeeper. They are the gatekeeper of much of science. And I was a science major also. And I was required to learn some of the histories of these Western scientists. He said that Eben Alexander, how scientists are the gatekeepers of knowledge in in science. They tell you what to believe. They tell you what is reality. But I just had a doctor's appointment yesterday. I saw a young woman. She was like an intern at the VA hospital. And she did the basic neurological testing that I already had before. You know, they do the reflex test when they use that little hammer-like thing, and they go in the knee and to see your reflexes, and they touch parts of your body to see if the sensation is the same. They have you follow their finger with your eyes. And then she walked out the room, and she came back, and she handed me literature. She says, not literature, flyers. The flyers were, she says, you still do yoga? I said, on and off. She says, yeah, they're both in classes in yoga. Oh, we also got this you might want to attend, on Tai Chi, and blah, blah, blah. It's about 4 flyers. And I'm thinking, okay, but I'm here because I have these symptoms that it's getting worse. And I thought they were going to do other things, other tests. So I make mention, isn't there anything else? I mean, other tests? Just, no, I talked to so-and-so, and, you already had an MRI a couple of months ago. And yes, we see there's some mild degeneration, and so, you know, it's not going to be any different. So that's all that it is, you're getting older, and, basically so be it. And that was it. So I just said, okay, because I saw then when she mentioned, well, you already had an MRI. What I discovered in myself with this conversation yesterday was that, see, you cannot argue really with someone with a closed mind. This isn't real medicine. This is more like you press this button, does that, press that button, that. And that's all they know about pressing buttons. Sometimes the button gets stuck. And rather than examining why the thing is stuck or other approaches, they cannot think outside of the box. If something is not obviously broken in half, they don't know anything else. So I decided at that point that it was, I didn't need to say anything else, because they weren't going to do any more tests, and that's all their knowledge is. Okay, you're a 50-plus-year-old woman, and you're getting these symptoms. It's just age. My symptoms are getting more intensified. And I know there are tons of people in their 50s, but they do not have what I have. Okay? How many people my age have the type of symptoms that I have? I don't know of any. So why am I having them? So Eben Alexander hit it on the head when he talked about the gatekeepers of what is real and what is not. I know that I had a phenomenon that happened about a year and a half ago, about the restaurant incident. That had nothing about being middle-aged. It was a phenomenon. Just like Eben Alexander had a phenomenon. The neocortex in his brain, the outer portion of the brain, was non-functional. It was turned off. So certain processes of the body cannot function if that's off. But he had a phenomenon. And so these scientists, and many of these scientists, doctors in particular, many of these people belong to fraternities and the like, correct? They only advance as far as they are allowed to. And even in the science community, when they break out of the box, they too get squashed. Because see, they are the gatekeepers. And it's a hierarchy of knowledge that's being promoted by modern day Western scientists. When you get too far ahead of your initiation, you are squashed. You are told that you're crazy. You can get disbarred. You do real medicine, like Jennifer, what's her last name? Dr. Jennifer, who now lives in Panama, who was just a regular physician. And she followed a newer approach to medicine, to care for your patient. That's what she did. That was the secret ingredient that she devised for her patients. And they were thriving. And then she was squashed. She was healing people, providing wellness to her community. And she was squashed, her license removed, and she was exiled out of the United States of America. So I don't know what's going on exactly, but I know that something outside of being middle age. I do not have a weight problem. I'm fairly active. I walk miles at a time. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do drugs. So any wear and tear on the body is mild, as the records say, it's mild degeneration for someone my age. But what's causing these types of vibrations at the base of the spine? And then when you're just relaxing, and when I went to read an occulted book, I shouldn't say the word occult, but it was of that genre, you know, those type of information about different realities, secrets. And I opened the book, and immediately this intense vibration, almost immediately. I'm doing the same old, I'm just sitting in bed. And then I opened up on a different occasion another book on theories, and boom, it happened again, and it intensified these vibrations at the base. Or on another occasion, this is going a couple of years back in 2016, everything seemed cool. And I was speaking to family on the phone, hung up, and was to look at I think it was the MTV Awards. And so I looked at my iPad for the countdown. And then, boom, full-fledged vibrational attack on me. And it's not just for a couple of seconds. It lasted, I think, virtually the whole night. Again, there's no pain. And it just started traveling up my body. It went up to like the diaphragm. These things, when they happen, they seem so calculating and not just mere chance. There seems to be an interruption over my body. I'm a healthy person, and these things hasn't happened before. And again, the incident at the restaurant. What was that all about? There were several physiological changes that happened. A change in my heart rhythm, a change in my ears, a change in my GI tract. All these things, and then there was an audible. All these things. I believe that they're all interconnected, and it's not the result of being middle-aged. This is what I call phenomenon. I believe in the things that are unseen now. When I had that event that happened to me, especially at the restaurant, that there are other things. It could be science. You have scientists who know how to use certain equipment, these electromagnetic devices, or these microwave devices, or these satellites that could be pinpointed on an individual or community. And this was discussed in various topics over social media / YouTube. And they show some of these devices. And I've also met someone who was in a war zone, and he told me he didn't have to share the information, and he said that when he was in, I think, Turkey, he saw, he had the experience of seeing these equipments that can cause certain responses. So he said, I believe you that this could have happened to you, because I know that it exists, because he saw it. He saw it. So yes, there are things that being middle-aged can affect, and there's those things that are inorganic in nature, meaning that it is by cause and effect. And the cause is people, technologies. And you also have the other component, the spiritual realm that exists. And on December 5 of this year, I definitively experienced that other realm, the non-physical realm. And I saw an orb, a pure white, marble-sized orb. And I only noticed it because there was light reflecting off my cheek. So I looked down with my eyes, and I saw it. And so it wasn't the monitor that was doing it. The monitor's all uniform of light. It wouldn't just be in one spot on my face. And I have the monitor on many a times, and it doesn't have light reflecting off my face. There are two worlds that exist, the physical and the non-physical. And for whatever reason, that orb appeared. And by it being so close to me, is something significant to that, I believe. Something intimate. That it maybe wanted to be seen. And it was trying to comfort me, I believe. Yes, I was watching a video at the time on the paranormal. And it made me a little sad. A very sentimental film. It was the movie Passengers that came out some years back, around 2009. Beautiful film. And so there's something that was trying to connect to me. let me know I'm not alone. And as quickly as it came, it just drifted past my face, and when it was maybe an inch away from my face, from the front part of my face, because it traveled from behind, it was right by my jaw, my jaw, and it traveled diagonally upward alongside my cheek, and once it passed my nose, like an inch away from the side of my nose, it just vanished. It made no sound at all. But it itself generated light, and it reflected off my cheek. Amazing. Amazing. See, this gatekeeper of reality and truth is being hidden from the masses. See, they have their initiation, scientists. They have their meetings, what drugs to use on people, what not to use. But it's to promote an agenda, and it's not wellness. And when these phenomenon happens, what would they have said? What would they have said to me if, when I arrived at the ER after the incident from the restaurant, if I would have told them exactly how I really wanted to tell them, they probably would have classified me as psychotic, crazy, and maybe to be put away for some type of mental breakdown. So I made sure that I didn't say certain words and just kept it on the physical. These symptoms, physical symptoms. Okay? But I know, and now I really know, after seeing that orb, that this world system is not what is real. Real truth is being hidden from you by higher ups. The gatekeepers of reality, they don't want you to know what's really going on. And so even vibrations, see, I want to document. See, I'm documenting these symptoms because, see, there might be other people. You might have real scientists there who work for the VA hospital. You may have true scientists, true physicians, and they're about the data and about, hey, this is happening to a lot of the women or the men. Let's do some statistical analysis to find out, hey, where do these people serve in the military? What occupations they did in the military? The onset of these things, etc. That's science. And again, it's about documenting these events as they come. And I want to release this to social media because this is very telling. And it may be other service people who have undergone these events. And so we have to speak out and collectively come to some type of understanding and maybe collectively going to the proper authorities of the Veterans Administration, Veterans Affairs, I should say, what's going on. The other thing I want to talk about for this 2020, January 2020, about going to a practitioner, like a medium, a spiritualist, and the like. Be very careful, people. And what I want to share is this. I went to that type of practitioner. It's a black woman. And many of you know that I'm about promoting the black community. But also be careful, because there are wolves and deceivers amongst us. And they may rely on people like myself who really want to do business with other black people. But are they genuine? Are they genuine? I recently went to this practitioner who promotes herself as being an educator. Okay? She promotes herself as an educator and offers seminars and coaching, business coaching. Now, I did see her website, and I was not impressed. But you know, I just really wanted a black person to do business with. I just, my desire was just get a black person and buy black. But you know, again, some of us are not really what they pretend to be. It was very unprofessionally done. Now, if you promote yourself as a teacher and an educator on how to do business coaching, and you got a website like that, but it's not that many black women out there that I know of on social media. So I had to give her a chance. So I filled out her paperwork, her form online. And she asked very personal questions, I thought. And I feel that a real psychic wouldn't require this type of information. She, if she was a real medium, soothsayer, tarot reader, ancestral reader, she would, her connectors or spirit beings, whatever, would be able to give her this information. The first time I looked at it, I looked at it and then I changed my mind. Then I looked at it several other times, and each time I said, something's not sitting right with me. And then I said, let me try her out. I know all the doubts I have. I'll play along with it. And I'll give her all the last names that I'm related to. Okay? And I felt that it was pretty much giving her all the resources. It's like I was doing the research for her. Okay? I fill it out completely. And then I called up the day of our session. Luckily I did, because I was wondering, well, how is she going to get in contact with me? Okay, so I think I left my phone number because that was required on the form. I believe I left the number, but I'm not 100% sure. But either way, if the only means of communication, she would have contacted me as a professional, as she claims she be. Excuse me, so-and-so, I need your telephone number or some other means of contact outside of this email, because when we do a session, I have to call you or something. That was never done. But luckily I contacted her by email, if it was still on. And I didn't get a response right away. I didn't know of a response until our session was to begin. So I'm wondering how I'm going to get in contact with her. So I contacted her again, and then that's where I discovered that she sent me an email, and I gave her the contact number. She calls, and then the line dropped. Okay, I gave her my landline number, because that's a very secure line. And then she calls back, and the line drops again. So I email her frantically, because on her website, if she can't get in contact with you, whatever, she's going to call that a no-show, a no-show type of thing, and have to reschedule. And then at one point you won't get your money back. So I'm frantic because I don't want her to then say, oh, well, there was a no-show. And it's, so I emailed her back. I said, try this phone number, this other number, which was my cell phone number. Then we get on. And she finally calls. So it's about maybe 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes of confusion. But we spoke. She was pleasant. But what I found problematic with the session, I asked a question and she says, oh, that's the so-and-so family. Well, she already knows the so-and-so family name because I had provided all that to her. So she could, it seemed, I don't know, it just didn't sit right with me. So I said, oh, well, what branch of the family of that? She says, well, what side of the family is that surname? So I thought she was just being a smarty pants. Now, one of her connections, her spirit guide, appeared to tell her. She didn't tell me anything, really. Oh, that's your so-and-so family. That's grandma. I feel that these mediums, spiritualists, I feel it's almost like a script, that they won't go anywhere outside of that script. And I don't think the white orb that I saw was this particular relative that she says. Because that person, that relative, did not have a pure soul. And I'm being very honest, and I know that grandmother's supposed to be sacred, and I used to believe that. But when I found out about that ancestor, I never had connections with her. I never knew this grandmother. and she had no love in her heart at all. But this white light being that came to me had a soul, a compassion. It'd be really interesting to find out if it really was a relative. But I could almost know definitively it ain't that one. So, then I able to tell you any, like, I said, okay, well, what's the name of that person? Oh, it's not telling me. You hear what I'm saying? What I'm getting at, people? Where am I getting at? It's outside of the script. They can't tell you anything more. Everybody, it's always everybody's grandma that's visiting. How come you don't have grandfathers? Okay? See, this is the script. See, people are more connected to the females. That it's usual person in social events. When there's a social event, it's the women that are connected to, keep the family together, initiate parties, social events, right? So in the spirit world, these spirits act like women and men. The men stay in their cave. They don't do anything, and the women do all the social. I find that very problematic. If an ancestor didn't help you when they were alive, why all of a sudden get benevolent and do something for you now? People don't change. Essence does not change. But it is provocative about that white orb that came to me. And it came on my birthday. It so happened to be my birthday when I watched those 2 videos on the same type of subject. So it's something, because I've watched those films before. But I was very moved that evening. And I believe it's something that knows me. I feel that now that I think about it. So again, the spiritualists, mediums, and the like are going now into being introduced to this particular YouTuber's black channel, and then promoting a lot of things about networking within the black community. But I feel that, like, everything about this connection, like, see, sometimes the person is right on their head, this black YouTuber. She's passionate about certain things and something she's accurate about speaking about. And it was she that recommended to her visitors to her channel this medium / spiritualist, etc. But I feel that it's a game being played. The game called, hey, let's get all these dumb black people who want to get some type of leader, community, and let's exploit it. Let's, on occasion talk about real issues of Black America, but let's also promote our products. Products of maybe certain herbal formulas, tarot card readings, mediumship. Let's just play it all. We'll give them a little truth to keep them coming, but we're marketing. we're really not about truth. We're about getting the Black community in America excited. Black people in America are very excitable. So let's exploit that. So yes, we'll get guest speakers who can rouse up people. Let's just glean over certain topics. Let's glean over topics like targeted individuals. Really start listening to the witnesses that come on these channels. What are they really saying? Some of the people that came on the program, I question their emotional state, their mind, because how they came across. You talk to them, but they really can't engage in the conversation. They seem to be in a stupor, at least one of them. They seem like an honest individual, but they didn't seem that credible to me. Just like, I don't know. So for 2020, be careful about everything. Just because somebody is a member of the Black community, or the Black West Indian community, or the Black African community, does not make them your friend. It does not make them honest. Test. Even the Bible says to test the spirit. Is this legit? Is this a mixture of truth and the lie? What are they really promoting? Are they promoting truth? Or is it a means to market so that they could fleece you? Fleece you. We have to be careful as a Black community what information we give out. I gave all this personal information about me, this medium. And she's been a guest again on this other YouTuber's channel. And I'm concerned about the fleecing, about this network that's being developed. Because now this network, the three major networks with these individuals, and each one of them are Black people of the West Indian community. I think two of them are foreign born and one is American born, but whose parentage in part is from the Caribbean. And their in-laws are from the Caribbean. So it just seems like a Caribbean network of making money, at least two of the three of them. And I'm questioning their validity. So whether someone is Black, question them. Ask yourself questions. I'm not saying to try to embarrass them, but just start really listening to what they're saying and what's being done. Are they being truthful? Are they being giving you some truth, but it's a means to get into your pocket? And I feel horrible to say and to insinuate a possibility that is what could be happening. I want to believe in this person. I want to. But something is telling me, be careful. The money that I gave to that medium / spiritualist, it was $100+. But I just take that as a lesson. It's not like in the thousands. If someone cannot perform with just $100, they're not going to perform with 200, 300, 400, etc. That they already showed me where their strength is, and they lack, in my opinion, credibility. Now, I feel hesitant to say who it was, but those of you who are on my channel, pretty much people who are connected to my channel will probably be connected to their channel as well. That's what I perceive. I could be wrong. So I don't want to, I want to give that person at least some credit. So that I want to believe at least a little bit in them. Because let's say I'm wrong about their motive, but still the outcome. What did I get out of it, this session? Is it real? Is it? If this person's remedies are that good regarding being a targeted individual, if just taking this herbal remedy could put at bay the implants that are in this person's body, allegedly, shouldn't they really be focused on that community of TIs? And share the recipe and really do a focus on that? Yes, they have a channel, another channel, and they did provide certain, the ingredients, but it's not being pushed as something of targeted individual. It's being targeted, this herbal, to the general black population for aches and pains, not for being implanted and being a TI, targeted individual. So what is it? How could something like this dishonor implants? I'm just seeing it more like it reminds me of those magazines, those black magazines, and in the back you got all these type of people with this herbal remedy, that herbal remedy, this cure, that cure, this medium, that spiritualist. And that's what I'm seeing. That's what it's reminding me of. The fleecing of our black community, our West Indian community, our African community. So for 2020, continue to ask yourself questions and test if you can. And if necessary, when evidence suggests that they're charlatans, that eventually you may have to out them. And I may in the future have to, by name, out them. So if they find this video and even get this far, I hope that they'll be in awareness that, hey, be careful about the fleecing, because someone can eventually out them. So I'm also doing this as a service to any community who may come across YouTube channels that do work like this, and so that they can be careful about how much information to give these people who claim to have certain abilities, so they can protect their money, their income. Giving out too much information could be used against you. And that's what I learned too. If someone is really on the money with these spiritual powers, you don't have to tell them a damn thing. Right? Real power? I'm still waiting. So this is just food for thought. And to be aware on what's going on and what may continue being the trend or a trend in 2020. Take care.